Hi everyone, I'm an explorer of national treasures and ancient civilization of giants America was founded on. This is an amazing park. This is in Wharton, New Jersey. It's called the Wharton Canal Park. And they've got some amazing, some signs set up and talk about the canal and how it was everything was built from 1825 to 1832. But all they did was, I believe, revamp the ancient Giants canal system. So up on the side of this hillside here, there's a megalithic structured wall that runs down maybe an eighth or a quarter mile. Because up on the top of this hill to the left-hand side is a roadway, and then there's this massive mound pyramid burial with marker stones and entrances. And these boulders are massive. These are big ones. And a lot of them are cut into faces, figures. So I've been doing some thinking about this wall. This wall may be the wall of memory. So basically, everyone who's buried in the pyramid burial mound up on the top of the hilltop, in the caves that are closed off, they put a boulder down here to build the wall. So they knew that they were going to be buried there one day. They helped build the wall, and they put their stone there. And this is actually an area where they fell down. And up on the top right-hand side there, that one stone has like some sort of bird or something on the corner. But we're going to get a bird's eye view underneath of this ancient roadway. This is an ancient roadway just above this that's just flat as a pancake, and it goes all the way down. I mean, it's precision engineering. And this is artifact. So there's artifacts mixed in. Well, this is all cut stone from the Giants. They put all of their artifacts under barrels. Okay, so off to the side, you're going to find some artifacts because they're moving a lot. There's a cute little mushroom there. So they put their artifacts. So that's why these hilltops in northern New Jersey, northwest Jersey here, they're all this loose stone. When you go and flip these stones over, because they're all green, when you flip them over, you're like, whoa! You see that they're artifacts and they're carved faces. I mean, look at the size of that one. Boom, look at the size of that face too. So there's a lot of different faces and figures. And this wall is like flat as a pancake on the one side because they made their stones to fit and they all interlock. But this is not like a really precise wall, kind of like the pyramid walls, where they're really tightly locked in, because this is more of when they were more into this, make their faces and figures on their granite crystal boulders and their artifacts. Everything has eyes and faces and figures or some sort of something. So they had a very strong connection, I believe, to the land, to the trees, to the crystals, because it's granite crystal. So everything has crystal in it, so it's containing crystal. If they could have used pure crystal, they would have made everything out of pure crystal. But this area, there's only so far you can get this everything. So I climbed up the wall. This is the roadway. That's the pyramid mound. It's massive. And then that's the roadway. It goes all the way down along this thing. And then the wall, the megalithic wall, goes along the side to hold up this roadway, right? All the way down along this hill. And then so if you came down the canal system, you could whoa, look at everybody's graves and look at this amazing workings. And then this year it looks like they might have fixed this up recently because there's some newer stones. The stones are very light colored. There's no green on them. So there's artifacts here too, but meaning that they've been out in the open and they were freshly wherever they dug them up to build this, And then this is an ancient hemlock tree. This tree may have died 60 or 80 years ago. It's 4 foot across. So what is it, 400, 500 years old? So that means that the Mars Canal that was built in 1825 and all this workings here, that's in void. That means there was already workings here before 1825 because there's more evidence. And this is my first time to this place too, to come back into this area. And I've been thinking about the video and going over it, and this is one of the locks. And I think this might be the only lock on the Mars Canal that they revamped. They fixed it up to show you how it originally worked. It's pretty cool. It's got these doors that close. So basically, you would come up the river, with your Oak Island Pirates treasure. You'd come up, you go through the lock, they close the doors behind you, and then the water would rise. They would open up the doors on the other side, and then it would fill up this entire cavity, and then boom, you would go up to the next level. And The biggest lock on the canal is in Roxbury Township, and that's further up this canal system, where there's actually, they left a section of it too, in the park there at the Morris County Basin Park, the Morris Canal Basin Park, Roxbury Township, and that's where there's a King's Treasure Vault. That was converted in 1825, I believe, because the workings are predate 1825. So again, this is amazing up here. There's this huge mountain, and there's a power line that goes up, and there's some mounds. Some of these power lines they found in this area, there's actually mounds on the pyramid, like they piled up a bunch of boulders and rocks, and there's mounds. They're all over the place. You just have to look for them. And there's that hemlock tree. Okay, that's that 400 or 500-year-old hemlock tree. And there's another one going down, and there's other ones that I didn't take pictures of, but I'll discuss another one. So then the wall starts again, right about in this area here, because the hill is, they need to stabilize the pyramid mountain that they built above, where the entrances are. I mean, they had a lot of people. There might be an actual city. I don't know. It might not. I think it's more of a burial because, like I said, all those stones that are placed all along to hold up that massive roadway, that ancient roadway, are all carved into figures and faces. And, they lock in, but they're not super locking because there's a lot of figures carved, like, faces, and that's kind of rounded, and chins and stuff like that. So you have a lot of these little holes. But they wanted you to be able to see them, I believe, because I think those stones are the ones of the people that are buried in the hilltop. And then this is the Rockaway River. This is one of the 4 rivers. Okay? You hear what I said? One of the 4 rivers. What had 4 rivers? So I'm back over here. There's another hemlock tree. This one's a massive hemlock tree, and it's dead, and it's standing. It might have died 40 or 50 years ago, but it's still standing because, the hemlock wood takes a long time for it to rot. So that is right there. So that means that wall was not built, it had to have been built 400 years or older, because the trees tell the age. In those other areas in Roxbury Township where I found the tunnels and tombs with national treasures, they're going to bulldoze at 12 South Hillside Avenue. There's old oak trees there that tell the age of when they did the capping. So then they'll come back down here, and then the wall starts again. But back to the property in Roxbury Township. So on September 4th at 7 p.m., they're having a Roxbury Township Planning Board meeting again to let this family bulldoze the property where there's tunnels and tombs and ex-slave soldiers and actual pirates' treasure in the bottom of the tunnel system. That wasn't all robbed in 2007 when they tore down a historic mansion, and then they tore down the carriage house that was converted into a garage and apartment. That was the access to the tunnel system, because there's sinkholes, and I know where they dug into everything. I'm an expert on land. I was in the landscaping business for 30 years. Tree certification expert for taking care of trees. So trees are very important because they have rings, and they tell you the age, and they can tell you when things were planted and when things were done if they're still alive. And then you can read the rings. So the wall continues, and you can see it's massive. So what I did was when I did the other video, I walked down part of the wall, climbed up, and then I walked all the way down, and then I started the video again. So this is a section in between that you didn't see from the first video, and then you'll see from where the rock collapse was is kind of where the area was where I had jumped up onto the roadway, which is, it is so flat and so precisely level, because even the canal system, just think about it. You have to build a canal system through swamps, over mountains, through swamps, over hilltops and mountains around. At this park, this Saturday, September 24th, 10 to 5 p.m., they're having a festival. It's pretty amazing. They have like food trucks and different vendors and stuff. It's a cool event. Thank you for watching.